With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation.
That day, 45 years ago,
into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
Big speech, big stage, and countless people who played small but important roles out of the spotlight.
So, where were you exactly when Dr. King spoke?
Oh, I was, as they say, backstage. I was behind him, back in the recesses of the Lincoln Memorial itself.
71-year-old Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton was a 26-year-old law student in 1963, an activist in the movement.
To tell you the truth, I was more fascinated by the crowd than the speakers because it seemed almost inconceivable that we had succeeded in bringing this many people to Washington.
We must rise to the majestic heights.
It's a blistering hot day. People are passing out all over.
Patty and Bob Bender organized 17 buses from Newark, New Jersey, a young engaged couple, days before their wedding.
We were just in front of the reflecting pool and crowded in, but everybody, when they took out their food, they just shared food with whoever was sitting.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, it was beautiful.
Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado.
Eloquence on the stage, energy in the crowd, and a palatable taste of danger in the air. This was 1963. The nation was tense. That day in D.C., security was both needed and feared.
There was tremendous fear, some from conservatives, but also from liberal supporters of the march, that there might be violence. There had never been anything like this in Washington.
Rochelle Horowitz was then a college dropout who became Director of Transportation for the March on Washington.
Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
I never heard him more inspired.
He was on his A game that day.
He was. He brought his A game, and God put his A spirit in him that day, and he spoke to the world.
And Reverend Joseph Lowery, a longtime friend of Dr. King's and co-founder of the SCLC, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. These four people, all part of history then, all say they will watch history being made tonight.
Barack Obama is a certain part of the dream. And then when he announced for president, I had already signed on actually for Hillary's campaign. And so I kept on saying to myself and to other people, you know, my head is with Hillary and my heart is with Obama.
You see some of yourself in these young people today.
Yeah. 45 years ago, we had a candidate. It was Freedom Now. They have a real, live, breathing candidate. It's Barack Obama. 45 years ago, we were them. 45 years later, they are us.
My four little children will one day live in a nation.
What would your friend, Dr. King, say about this moment?
I think he'd be as awe-stricken as I. He'd be pleased that we moved one place he called us to go, to judge our children by the content of their character and not the color of their skin.
I have a dream today.
Byron Pitts, CBS News.